Good morning. This is day 89 on my hike from Mexico to Canada on the Pacific Crest Trail. It's just exactly 8 a.m. I'm getting started. I camped somewhere in there last night around mile 1208, and today did some night hiking last night. Woke up with condensation in my tent. That hasn't happened in a long time. I'm a little sore, but I gotta say, my right shin still feels not great. I really hope this doesn't turn into something like that interior tib tendonitis I had in my left shin. But most days, like almost every day since I started this, I wake up and the first couple minutes of stepping and walking are like excruciating, just like really sore. I've talked to other people that call it the hobbles or the hobs, but like that just every step is just really sore, and then it takes your feet a little while to be like, okay, we're doing this again, and kind of suck it up. But I mean, they're sore right now as I step, but for some reason this morning they were noticeably less painful than they've been for the last God knows how long, 50 plus days. So that was interesting. It was just so noticeable. Usually when I get up out of bed in the morning to pee, those I'm literally slowly limping and trying to put as little weight as gently as possible because they're so tender, sore. That was not the case this morning, but my right shin is definitely acting up. I'm gonna grab some water here and hopefully hit 25 miles today at least. That's all I have food for the next 5 days. So I'll see you down on trail. So I'm still starting my day. I just spent 10 minutes washing my socks and filtering water, cleaning my sunglasses, cleaning out the towel that I used to draw off all the condensation in my tent this morning. So got about a 13 to 1500 foot climb out of here to start the day. If I hit 25 miles, that would be over 5,000 feet in elevation gain, about the same in descent. So harder day ahead, but I think it'll be doable as long as my body holds up. This right shin thing's really starting to annoy me, bother me I should say, because it's been consistent like this now for a few days. I really hope it warms up and goes away. I'm still frustrated about how I wasted, in my mind, 24 plus hours in a town and couldn't get one video uploaded because the bandwidth was so bad. That's really, really frustrating me. It's so hard enough to be out here and do all this, but to be doing editing and uploading, when I say editing, I just mean piecing together. I'm not really cutting anything out or anything like that, really, but putting together videos and uploading them in a pretty prompt manner is just such an added job and task, and to not have gotten it done in town is very frustrating to me. So it's been a tough climb to start the day for sure. I'm feeling neutral to slightly unmotivated today. Hopefully that goes away because I got a long day ahead of me and many to follow after that. I am a little demoralized from not getting my videos done and uploaded in town. It's so frustrating. I literally sat there yesterday, started 1 in the morning. By noon, it was at 50%. By 2 p.m., it was only at 54%. I just had to give up. It just feels such a waste of time. Time is the one thing I don't have anymore. I say I have no margin of error. Well, that includes getting all my chores done in town. So it's pretty demoralizing when I busted my ass for 3 or 4 days leading up to getting into Sierra City, just to lose all those gains I made and not even accomplish what I needed to accomplish. All right, I just passed the re-entry point for people who took the alternate route, i.e. skipping 3 to 4 miles in a pretty tough elevation descent and climb back up. So I should be starting to relink with some of my homies and acquaintances. But I'm glad. I mean, I'm sore and beat up right now, honestly, and only 5 miles in, but I'm glad I won't have to be thinking the rest of this hike about my decision there. Picked my head up, saw this beautiful lake. It's called Gold Lake. Looks like there's someone out there on a boat of some kind. Every step's hurting right now. My left foot, my right foot, the bottom, so like the plantar fascia. Feel that. It's manageable for sure, but still, it's like it's something every day out here. It's always something. And then the biggest focus of my daily ailments right now is my right anterior tib, shin. I will say it is significantly more challenging filming in this orientation with one hand while moving. Quite a view. Check out this echo. Woo! It's so fun. It's a simple thing in life. Farts and echoes. Oh, yeah. Wow, this is one of the more beautiful views I think I've seen on this trip. We're Lena just asked if I'm a YouTuber after I asked if they're cool if they're in my vlog, and I laughed and said I guess. But this is Woodstock and Lena. It's been nice getting to know them. Check out this beautiful, beautiful view in the background. It is pretty epic. Alaska was one of the big ones, so kind of a little bit different terrain right now with the ground. And lots of downed kind of wood and trees in here. That part's nothing new. So I haven't had water in about 8 miles. I've got about 1/8 of a liter sitting as reserve. There's been places to fill up, but I kind of been in the zone. And each time I'm like, you know what? I can go 2 more miles without the next stopping for water. And I kept doing that because the last couple sources have been off trail a little bit. And I'm just trying to be hyper efficient. I really don't want to have to walk too many miles off trail. So definitely feeling it a little right now. I got 2.1 miles left now to get to the next water. So I've basically walked 10 miles without drinking any water, which is kind of good to know I could do that. But it's also like not, you know, it's a little cloudy today, so it's not as hot. I did drink some, like, I think right at that source. It was 8 miles from here, but or maybe I took half a liter from there, and now I've got about 1/8 liter left. So I did drink some at some point beyond that. But yeah, it's actually kind of good, I think, to push myself right now like this. This seems like a decent environment for it, and I feel okay with it. But right now, I would love a cold glass of water. Much of today has been overcast, and I'm very much enjoying it. It's less hot. It's probably what's allowed me to hike for over 10 miles with only half a liter of water. And it is, it's just a nice change of pace. I hope it doesn't rain. I don't really mind the storms too much, especially if I'm like safe in a tent or something, but in a safe place. But definitely don't want it to interrupt my mileage today. Looks like it could be kind of stormy though, but so far it's just been nice and overcast.
I had one come through my campsite yesterday morning. Very brave. Yeah. You're not at all.
So oatmeal tea. Got the guitar out here.
So.
To see how hey, I really want to come kick it with you. You'll be my American boy, American boy.
But it's fun.
For sure, definitely appreciate it.
Yeah. What's your connection with music? I mean,
We just finished a 1,000-foot climb in a little over a mile, so it's pretty steep. Nice view to come up to though. I'm around a little over 14 miles on the day. I'm going to go a few more, then stop for lunch, and then try to keep going. I don't want to oversell this. I mean, I'm definitely a little beat up and sore from pushing hard, but I will say the last week or so, I've been pumping up higher mileage, and I also have to say the miles have been a little less challenging relative to what was, the month or so or even longer prior, like the Sierras, the high Sierras and whatnot. But they're certainly not easy, at all. But, sometimes there's days, but like still a good amount of elevation gain. Like today I've already done, I think I could check my watch, but I saw earlier, probably over 3,000 in elevation gain. But what I'm trying to get at is I am pleased with the fact that I'm able to even do 13 to 15 to 17 miles before stopping for lunch. Like take one break in between, to cut that, down a bit. Like I just paused at 13 miles. So basically I walked 13 miles without really stopping except for one 4 or 5 minute break to filter water. But I wasn't I'm working there. So it feels pretty good mentally to know that I can as of late do that many miles and take a little break and get to 13 to 17 and then take a lunch break. That's pretty solid. I'm pleased with that. So what I'm getting at is I've definitely, I think, developed and improved. I'm not saying I have my full trail legs yet. Even as I'm talking, every step I feel both plantar fascia. My shin was bothering me this morning. It's mellowed out at the moment, but stuff just pops up all the time. But that said, this is there's no way I was putting up these kind of miles when I started. So that's encouraging for sure, given I'm going to have to keep putting these miles up in order to make it to Canada before winter. Winter is coming. Some thunder in the background a couple times now. I find it very cozy actually, but I don't really want to deal with the storm right now. So we'll see if it holds out. Apparently someone coming the other direction, southbound on the trail, told someone I talked to that it was hailing where they camped last night out here. So I don't know, it definitely wasn't where I was at. Do you know what I would love right now? Is fresh cheddar cheese and roast beef in one of my tortillas, which is what I had planned, and is entirely my fault for forgetting. Here's a great example of a switchback that I might at times cut. So it goes all the way around, or you can just step down here twice. Like, I'm not going to, it's just, but like, that's like the max of, otherwise, like, I'm not, and like, if people were to be sticklers, at what point do you have to walk at the outside of this curve to say you officially did the whole trail and didn't cut any steps? Like, I don't get that crazy with it, but I've walked the whole PCT, nothing, no miles have been cut or anything, and I feel good about that, basically. Anyways, instead of this wonderful sandwich that I had planned for myself today and tomorrow, I'm going to basically have a tortilla. I might spread some Nutella on it. I have a tuna that was supposed to be for like a later lunch, which I'm so not looking forward to. And I'm gonna have to ration a bit because I'm, I don't know how many calories that cheese and meat would probably be. Definitely over 1,000, I'd imagine. Over half a pound of each. I down that much. And I also just want to reiterate the amount of little corner switchbacks I have kind of cut like that is probably less than, I can count on one or maybe two hands. 2 hands, yeah. Less than 2 hands. Which is nothing. And gosh, the amount of miles I've done that don't count for the PCT. However, I will not take these shortcuts that are chopping off miles. It's just not what I personally signed up for. I'm not judging people at all. You got to hike your own hike and do what matters to you. But for me, in my own head, to know that I said I hiked the Pacific Crest Trail, Mexico to Canada, continuous footpath, except unless the PCTA legally, you're not allowed to go somewhere. That is, that's what I want to be able to say for myself and know the rest of my life. Because otherwise it's a slippery slope. Like, at what point do you just start skipping a section? Which a lot of people have, but that's their prerogative. But skipping a section because it's too hard or too hot or not pretty. Like, there's a bunch of people talking about skipping or have skipped a section coming up in Northern California here that has a big burn zone for like 4 or 5 days. And they're all just going to skip those miles. Like, to me, I'm out here for the challenge first and foremost. So that entails taking what's ever thrown at me, including situations and environments and scenarios like that. You can, just as I hit under, stop there, the thundered again. I was trying to turn it back on. Also, just the last time, or continue on the last conversation. So in the Sierras, there's snow covering a lot of the trail. So there are actually people who, what's called scrambling, kind of just going up and down straight the mountains and finding their own way through rocks and stuff. And there are also like new trails or side paths made that were, some of them might be a little longer than PCT. Many of them were kind of cutting it and shorter. That's where everyone walked. So like somebody who's like a total purist, like I would argue to them like, well, okay, if you're up in arms about, cutting 10 feet off a switchback, like what about all the ones you did that in the Sierras for? Like, did you actually go through all that snow that no one else went through so you could be on every step of PCT? Like, I've met people out here are that like every single step. It's quite the spectrum, and I'm definitely more skewed towards the purist side of things, but pragmatically speaking, because there's just a point where it's just silliness. But anyways, I think enough on that topic. I just want to be fully transparent about what I'm doing out here, and basically my commitment is to every step of the PCT, except for if it's legally you're not allowed to walk there, then you go wherever the PCTA recommends you do. So hopefully the storm holds off. Got about 1.5 miles to get to where I'm going to stop for lunch, which is a creek and water. Feet are hurting a little bit, but I'm glad after a short 10-minute break, the last water source I filled up at, they're feeling okay. They're rejuvenated a little bit, but definitely hurting. So these shoes are just totally shot. I will never buy these without Vibram again. And it was I don't want to say poor planning because it was on my radar, but I was just so busy with other stuff in town. I was kind of putting it off to order them. And by the time I did order new shoes, like the lead time, even though I paid for expedited shipping, I'm going to end up having worn these shoes from miles 700 Canyon Meadows South all the way up to like probably 13:30 or something like that, which is a lot. And they're not, I don't even know why Ultra sells these without the Vibram. Like, it's honestly a disservice to who's ever buying them. So it's yeah, like what I'm getting at is I can, like, on these rocks I'm stepping on right now, like I can feel the rocks really pushing through at my feet, and like over and over and over, 28 to 30 miles a day of that, they just start to get pretty sore on top of the normal motion from walking. So I'm looking forward to this rest break. Hopefully this rain stays off. I'll check in later. This thunder's getting louder and closer. Plan to stop in half a mile at a creek to have lunch. It's a little past 2 p.m. That'll be about 17 miles, but I'm gonna have to monitor this weather once again. Definitely been a lot of days lately this past week where there's been some clouds and some rain and definitely a lot of thunder and lightning. Gonna stop here for a well-deserved lunch break. Man, I just took my camera out to do a little update, and I rolled my ankle, my right one, on a rock. Definitely hurt. It's always a risk, literally just one wrong step. So you can see there's not many rocks here. I was multitasking. Shoot. Just caught it wrong. I mean, it's really hurting. I really should stop for longer than I just did. But I'm trying to walk it off. Oh, okay. Took a little bit longer lunch. Had a nice conversation with a friend named Star, a trail name that I hadn't seen in a while. And I think I'm going to do about 8 more miles total on the day to put me at 25, which is sort of the minimum I need to be hitting for both the micro goal of getting a Chester with the food that I brought, and also the total goal of getting to Canada. So still a solid day. Still got a ways to go. Good 7 miles to go, but that is the plan. I'm feeling, aside from my ankle at the moment, it is definitely did something to it just now. Feeling pretty good besides that. I spent a good time at my lunch break in conversation with the Cork massage ball, working out my shins and the bottoms of my feet. But I'm a little tired, like sleepy tired. Morale is good. It's okay. I'm just tired from a little food coma from lunch, I think. But it's almost 5 o'clock already, or it is 5 o'clock. Yeah, it's past 5 o'clock. So sunset's in 3 hours. So I still got a ways to go, but looking forward to being and setting up camp and being in bed. It's 5:50 p.m. and this heat, now the clouds have gone, it is hot. I am going uphill. It's been quite a climb. I am dripping, heart rate's in the mid 150s right now, but it is noticeably hot right now for such a late time of day. Definitely have a light sprain in my right ankle. I've had many times on this trail, more than I can count, way more than I've documented. I've rolled my ankles. But when it's felt like this degree of pain, as long as I don't roll it again in the coming days, I think it should heal kind of on its own in 3 days or so, maybe a week tops. But right now, every step feels tender, sore. So frustrating. One wrong step. It's all it takes to end your hike, as I keep saying. And it's always something. I think I can count the days on one hand, truly one hand, that I felt good physically all around this whole hike. And that's part of it. I talked to other hikers. They definitely are sore. But I'm like, those days I was sore. I'm talking like an actual pain for an injury. It's up there. Maybe 2 hands. I can count the ones that weren't, something like that. But yeah, I mean, it's a jungle out here, but I'm a warrior. It's a jungle out here, but I'm a warrior. I think it's nice how the sun's reflecting on the green moss on these green pine trees. Finally made up quite a climb post lunch, and now going down a bit. Beautiful forest views. Sun is noticeably hot for the time of day and position in the sky, but I'd say it's close to calling it evening, coming up on 6 o'clock. Got about 3.5 miles left to get to where I'm gonna camp tonight. That'll put me about 25 miles on the day, which is my bare minimum right now, but it's still a lot and I'm okay with it. And I'll live to fight another day. So this little pond down there is called Duck Soup Pond. Duck Soup Pond. Gotta be the best name of anything I've seen on all this whole trail. Doesn't bode well for you if you're a duck, I suppose, but yeah. Duck Soup Pond. I try my best to avoid having to walk off trail for water. I looked on the map, it showed it right on trail, which is annoying because usually in Far Out, this stupid app we have to use, or everyone uses, it shows a blue line if you have to go off trail for water or something like that. Did not show it for this, but here it is, 0.3 miles. So it's 0.6 miles round trip. That's more than I want to do for water. And it said in the comments on Far Out that in the little notes that it was it's 0.3 miles off trail. Like, it's entirely inconsistent. Sometimes they show the actual trail off the map, and sometimes nothing, and then sometimes you get comments. So I gotta start looking for that now too, but that's very annoying. It's just, it could be so much better. As I'm walking down to get this water, I am just reflecting, so I will probably have gone about 25 miles today, so just short of that marathon mark, but I gotta be careful with my right ankle. My Achilles are a little sore because there's a lot of incline today, but all in all, I have to say I am pretty grateful for how my body's holding up and feeling right now after walking 25 miles with a lot of elevation gain descent. It's sore for sure. Like, I can tell I got a good workout in today. Hiking up and down mountains 25 miles is not, with heavy-ish pack, is not an easy chore, but I'm definitely building up that stamina, and I'll see how I'm doing tomorrow, but I feel pretty decent overall. Like, I'm not in any kind of crazy pain or anything. I'm just a little sore and beat up, which is the expected amount from what I did, and that's pretty rare, unique feeling here, so I have to point that out. Very, very grateful for that. I hope it holds up. My right shin has gotten better after massaging it using the massage cork ball in it. Walking now without the pack, I do feel it a little bit. It's kind of interesting when I change up sort of the weight. Things kind of start to reveal themselves, but it's so minor at the moment. Hopefully that remains. Okay, backtracked a little bit to come to some campsites, just like a super, super small amount, less than 0.1 mile from that water source I just climbed down into, which was one of the most challenging water sources I've encountered on the whole PCT to accumulate. But I also chose to pull from a side creek that was 0.1 miles shorter than the official spring to save the distance walking. But it was muddy and slippery and like a jungle to get into, and I slipped and my shoes got all muddy. Part of the journey, part of the experience. But this has been day 88 or no, I think 89. I'm losing count. I will write it in here on my PCT adventure. I will see you all tomorrow at this nice view.